What's going on, YouTube? Who here still uses Snapchat? Let me know in the comments. I still use Snapchat, and I'm sure a lot of you still do too. I think a lot of you came over from my Snapchat account and subscribed to me on YouTube, so thanks for that. If you haven't heard, Snapchat is launching a major redesign to the app. And if you still do use Snapchat or you stopped using Snapchat, you should listen up. So I don't think I need to go into detail on how the app works now, but just to recap, you open Snapchat, it brings you to the camera, then you swipe over to the left side of the app and you have your messages and your incoming snaps. And then on the right side of the camera, you have stories and discover, and everything's kind of mixed in there. All the content you consume is on the right side and all of your sort of incoming messages and incoming snaps are on the left. What this redesign is going to do is effectively take all of your friends, that is someone who you follow and they follow you back, put their stories, messages, and incoming snaps on the left side of the app. So you'll still open to the camera, and then if you swipe over this way where your incoming snaps are now, that is going to be all of your friends' stories, messages, and snaps. And then if you go in and swipe over this way where your stories feed is now, that, from what I understand, is going to be Discover or Discovery. So right now, Discover consists of publishers like MTV or Mashable, and then Our Stories. So if there's a football game on, if there's, let's say, a parade somewhere, the curated Our Stories. And in this update, the Discover feed is going to still have Our Stories, publisher content, and influencer or creator content. So for example, if you follow David Dobrik, he has the video camera next to his name, or Ellen DeGeneres, or Gary Vaynerchuk, or Sean Duras, or Kim Kardashian. Those Snapchat considers sort of influencers or creators. The people that have an emoji next to their name will be in your Discover feed. So don't think of them. Yes, you could still right now add David Dobrik as a friend or add Taco Bell as a friend, and they appear in your stories feed alongside with your regular friends, so to speak. But in this update, Snapchat is separating your friends, your real life friends, from the creators and influencers that you follow on Snapchat. The Verge has a very good article on this redesign. Casey Newton, shout out, hello. Casey calls this redesign, and I love his words, more of a moving furniture rather than a complete rethought of the app. So the Snapchat update, which should be rolling out soon, by the time you see this video, you'll probably have access to it. I'm filming this on November 30th, 2017. And I would imagine if you're watching this sometime in December or January, you have the update already. But to just cover it again, the redesign will have 3 specific pages. You open to the camera as we all know it. You swipe over where your incoming snaps and messages are. That is going to be your friends feed. And then where the stories are right now on the right side, that is turning into a complete Discover panel where you have all of the sort of like magazine covers with the name of the publisher, the headline, you know, that sort of stuff. And mixed into Discover, again, will be these influencers and content creators. And one of the main reasons or messaging behind Snapchat's update, they say this update will remove the social from media. Like social media, they're taking the social part from social media, putting it on the left side of the app, and then the media side is going to be on the right side of the app. And with this redesign comes Snapchat's first algorithm. So Snapchat is sort of bringing back the best friends feature, and your best friends will be pushed to the top of your friends list on the left side of the app. And Snapchat says it'll learn over time which of your friends you're snapping the most, and for the people that you don't talk to a lot or don't consume their stories, they're going to be bumped further down. And the same application goes for the Discover content as well. You could still subscribe, and Snapchat over time will learn what content in Discover you're watching a lot and rejigger it that way. That kind of exists already now. I've compared my Discover page to friends' Discover pages, and it's never exactly looked the same, but there's like 40 different publishers in there now. It's crazy. And according to this Verge article, there's no more play all button. Right now you can go click a button, it highlights all the stories, and it does this autoplay thing. They're getting rid of that button. And I'll just read what Casey wrote in the article. He says, there's no more button for watching all the stories in your feed. Instead, after you watch one, you'll see an interstitial screen previewing the next story from one of your friends. You can either tap the screen to watch it or swipe away to return to your chats. So that's interesting. Let's kind of discuss some high-level thoughts about this redesign. I've always thought that Snapchat was a pretty well-designed app. Yes, it definitely functions way better on iOS. There's no questions about that. But I've always thought this notion of Snapchat is hard to use, blah, blah, blah. Like, these old people, like, right, like, you could drive a car, you can learn to do something new. I don't think there's been much credence to that argument ever, but it's fascinating to see Evan himself come out and say, you know, admit to the criticisms and now redesign this app to make it easier to use. But I'm not sure if the app redesign is going to make it easier to use. I think the app, what it's doing is very much still aligning with Snapchat's original messaging, which has always been a place to sort of hang out and chat and be with your friends in a digital space. This is just making that line even more clear. Also, I haven't used the app. I've only seen photos of it in that Verge article. I don't have it, haven't played with it. These are my impressions and thoughts just as a person who ran Verge's Snapchat account, ran Mashable's Snapchat account, ran Mashable's Discover page, and, you know, I've been on Snapchat for years. And what is this going to do to Verge's Snapchat or Taco Bell or MTV, any of these companies or brands that have regular Snapchat accounts? Apparently, from what I understand in this article, your friends on the left side are going to be people you follow, and then they also have to be following you back, right? So like right now, if you follow David Dobrik or you follow MTV or Verge, you can watch their stories in your stories feed. From what I understand, there has to be a mutual following for them to appear in your friends list. So what's going to happen to these brands and publishers and influencers that don't have that verification emoji? Are they going to friend the, you know, the 10,000 people that watch their stories? I don't know. And will this redesign attract however many millions of users that Wall Street wants Snapchat to have? Snapchat has roughly 150 million monthly users, which by no means is a small number. Do I think Snapchat is dead? No. Do I think Instagram stories really put a damper on Snapchat's continued upward growth? Absolutely. Anecdotally, so many of my friends post way less to Snapchat and post way more to Instagram now. I've definitely seen my numbers dip on Snapchat, and if you're still one of the 10-ish thousand people that watch my snaps, thank you, I see you. And my numbers on Instagram continue to go up. So there is something there. Again, I don't think Snapchat's dead. I don't think Snapchat was ever dead. I think Instagram kind of kicked them out of the spotlight. But I think this redesign is a step in the right direction. Snapchat is one of the very few companies that I can with confidence say, if there's one entity to do it, as in like make a comeback or make something really cool. Remember, Snapchat invented stories. Snapchat basically made ephemeral, oh my god, this heater is... Snapchat basically made ephemeral messaging a thing. And now you have gigantic companies like Facebook and Instagram stealing Snapchat's ideas and bringing it into their apps. Not to mention, YouTube has something called Reels, which is effectively like a type of stories in YouTube now. That'll be a separate video. It wouldn't surprise me if 2018 was the year Snapchat came back, and I use quotes because, again, I don't really think Snapchat's dead. I don't know if Snapchat will ever have 500 million users. I don't know if Snapchat even wants to get to a place where it has 500 million users. Again, 150 million people is substantial. And personally, I think this redesign is a breath of fresh air for Snapchat users. I don't think that most of the people that use Snapchat even know that this redesign is coming, so share this video with your friends that do use Snapchat so they know. And I'm excited for this whole thing. Again, I've been on Snapchat for years, and this is one of the few times where I feel like it's really one of the biggest redesigns to ever hit Snapchat. They've definitely, you know, added new features, right? But this is changing the mechanics of like how you consume content on Snapchat. So we'll have to see how people adopt it, what the community feels, how Snapchat, the audience, the people that use Snapchat, how they feel about this redesign. Is it going to make them use Snapchat more? Is it going to make them use Snapchat less? Is it going to attract new users? Are the olds going to be less confused? Is Wall Street going to be happy with this redesign? We'll see. I'll probably make a follow-up video once I get my hands on the app. I'm looking out for it on a daily basis. If you're watching this video and I don't have that video made and you have the redesign, drop me a comment and let me know what you think. And that's sort of it. Leave a thumbs up on this video because you made it this far and you watched to the end. Thanks for watching. Hit that subscribe button if you're already not a part of the Sam Fam Chef Squad. Catch you in the next one.